Hey guys, back again with another interview. This time I am joined by an all-star, Miss Missy Gannon. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Corey?
Oh, I'm doing solid. It's a beautiful day here in San Francisco, so hard to
Mhm.
complain. Let me ask though, where are you? Are you in Arizona yet?
I am finally in Arizona. It took a while because I did not anticipate crazy weather through Texas.
Ay.
So we were coming from Florida and we were like, oh, okay, we can kind of take our time and mosey on over to Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, Texas decided to be snowy and crazy and icy. Yeah, it was not what we were expecting.
Yeah. Well. So how was it? I mean, you're in Arizona now, right? So you made it safe.
Yes, we are good. It just took, we were on an 80-mile-an-hour highway that we could only do about 35 on. Luckily, most other people were doing the same. So yeah, it took an extra day, probably at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
So
That's rough.
yeah.
Well, you mentioned that you were in Florida. I know
Mhm.
that before, at least before I know you, you were from Colorado. Is that true?
Mhm. That is true. So I call Colorado my disc golf roots. I moved there, when I was in my late mid 20s, I guess.
Okay.
Now I'm in my early 30s. So yeah. Anyway, but I'm originally from New York, so I'm no stranger to snow, even from Colorado. But definitely two different places for sure.
Yeah.
So we're back sort of in the more Colorado feel, I guess. Except they're super cold right now too, I think. So
Yeah. I was talking to my buddy Brian Geis. You know him too.
yeah.
It's been like
Uh-huh.
frigid out in Fort Collins.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the off season a little bit. You said that you were in Florida. Did you spend your whole off season in Florida?
No. I did go back to New York. We have our families back in New York, so it's just a little easier for us because we don't technically have a home,
Hmm.
anywhere specifically right now. So we're able to go back there, hang out, and not do a lot of training because Northeast is
Yeah.
crazy during the winter. But a good time to kind of take a break, and I think it is good to kind of let your body heal and
Hmm.
sort of work on other things. I did some weight training and a little
Mm.
bit of putting and stuff like that. But then we decided to hang out with the Oakleys down in Florida and kind of get the off season training kind of really started, and get ready for Arizona.
Perfect. Well, how's it been going? How's the training been going? How's your game feeling? Heading into the first event of the season.
Really good. It's always hard to kind of gauge that because it just feels different when you're
Hmm.
sort of out there just throwing in the field or we played a few courses obviously, and yeah, feeling really good. It's always a interesting day to come back to a course that you've played competitively like a Fountain Hills
Hmm.
and kind of see like if anything has changed, like if you can kind of throw a little farther. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like a weird thing, and maybe even your perspective's a little different on how to attack certain holes
Hmm.
from the previous year. So it's always fun to kind of go back to these courses that we played and just sort of reevaluate and see where you're at.
Yeah, well, speaking of courses that you've played before, Fountain Hills, you've played it, several years in the past. This year, it's gonna look a little bit different for this event. I guess could you speak to how the course is playing for All Stars this weekend?
Sure. Well, not really because I haven't played it yet.
Fair point.
So,
Well, where's your mind at, considering it's getting a little lengthened?
yeah. So it certainly is longer, I believe. I've looked over the course map, and Paige was out there playing a practice round, which she
Hmm.
filmed with Ricky, and I kind of watched that to sort of see what was going on. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of I don't it's kind of the same old fountain, but I don't know. I'm curious about the danger aspect
Hmm.
of it because we do still have like a couple of peninsulas to deal with because that's all there is out there really. But I do feel like some of those other holes that were kind of dangerous and daunting are changed up a little bit maybe. But yeah, I think it's going to be cool. I think I'm going to be able to, unleash a bit and kind of, still play some of the same holes, but then also have a few that are different. Because I do believe a couple of them might still be pretty close to
Hmm.
the same. So, yeah.
Well, like course aside, this is the first year that we're doing an all-star event
Mhm.
for the disc golf scene, for professional disc golf. How does it feel to be one of the 8 FPO All-Stars? Like, how does that feel?
It feels amazing. I mean, I had a decent season last year. Definitely was given all of the craziness, it definitely was still one of my best seasons yet. And I mean, we had less events, but, the Disc Golf Pro Tour does kind of take up a good majority of the tour in general. So it felt good to have basically a complete Disc Golf Pro Tour, minus a few. But yeah, one of my best seasons yet. So, I feel kind of validated by this all-star thing. Like, I knew I had a good season. I'm number 5 on the Disc Golf Pro Tour and FPO, and yeah, it's a cool little like cherry on top, I feel like.
Well, how about the format? Because it's a little bit different than we've played in the past. Let's start. Who's going to be your partner for the first round?
I have the pleasure of having Haley King as my partner.
Wow.
And other than her just being an absolute, bomber, awesome player, we have a really good, relationship, and it kind of goes back to our AM roots. So, I think we're gonna have a good vibe, and I think other than just the fact that we're both ballers, I think that, we're just gonna, we're gonna have a good time because we actually have that same relationship off the course. So I'm excited. I think I couldn't have asked for a better partner, really. I mean, other than maybe Paige, just because we're friends too. But as far as the vibe goes, I think that's going to take us a long way.
Awesome. One of the cool things about the event is, that format. It's doubles for the first round, where you play best shot for 9, worst shot for 9, and then singles through 18 holes, where each person keeps their score from the doubles.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that format?
I mean, for an exhibition event like this, it's cool. Like, I mean, it's supposed to be different. It's not supposed to be as competitive. I mean, we're all still going to be competitive because we can't help it. But it's supposed to be fun, entertaining for everybody else that's watching. And so, it took a minute for me to kind of switch that in my brain to be like, oh yeah, this is supposed to be like other sports have, a little bit looser, more fun, and more exciting in the sense that, it's different. And yeah, when it got switched to doubles, that was like, again, like different and cool. And I mean, I was fortunate to be paired with Haley, which for me is really cool. But
yeah,
and I'm hopefully for her too. But yeah, so yeah, I think it's gonna be great. I think it's you just have to go in with a little bit of a different mindset, and just know that it's more for the entertainment, not for not necessarily for the competitive part,
sure.
A little bit, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's largely an exhibition event, and frankly, I love the idea of doing like the alternate formats, especially in the more for fun events. Just quickly, while we're on the subject, the PDGA kind of made a step for that 4th major, and you probably saw this question coming. It's similarly, it kind of like takes a step away from traditional format. How do you feel about a major kind of being decided by an alt format?
Yeah, I'm still sort of marinating on that a little bit. We have this whole year to sort of wait for that to happen for 2022. So I'm never one to just miss something without trying it. We should probably give it a chance, and if it doesn't work, then it probably won't stay that way, and if it does, then cool. So we'll see. It definitely took me by surprise. It definitely feels a little strange, but again, like I said, we should just give it a shot, and we'll see. So.
Well, let's back off the play a little bit. I want to touch base with you about your sponsorship contract, your off the course stuff a little bit. You were with DD for a couple years. That's when we first originally met. You were with DD, then you switched to Discraft going into last year. Where are you as far as like, was there any talks over the off season about switching? Were you just locked in because you love where you at? Like, where are you at with that?
Yeah, I'm locked in. Discraft has been above and beyond what I could have asked for. They definitely value good players and good people, but they want you to be able to focus on your job, which is to play at a high level and to finish strong. And so that's sort of been the shift in mentality from DD to Discraft, is that DD is very much focused on their players sort of being like that social media personality type thing. And they obviously have great talent as well, but it was just different for me to come over to Discraft and them really be like, okay, we're gonna help you try to do what you need to do out there, which is kind of a nice relief. And I didn't look anywhere else this off season. I was just ready to take a break and work on some training and then get back into it. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty fortunate and excited for 2021.
Yeah, so I actually took a little look at the Discraft Instagram. And I had noticed it a little while ago, but I wanted to fact check because when I look there, there's 3 little like signature videos up right now. Okay, there's Paul Macbeth, there's Paul Ulibarri, and there's Missy Gannon. Is that like, that's a good company to be in. Was that part of like why you love being with Discraft?
I'm sure it was part of it. Maybe it was more subconscious, but they obviously are looking for professionals. We have such a stacked team, even going beyond Paul and Paige, and the whole elite team is just so amazing. And I guess I've sort of gravitated towards that more professional feel, and they Discraft definitely provides that and makes me feel like I can take this more seriously and really focus in on my craft, I guess.
Well, yeah, but so no pun intended, but is it like a legitimizing feeling? Because I mean, for years, and there's so many people still out there just driving around in vans, putting gas in, scraping by. Does your current contract situation and maybe the support from Discraft, like, are you able to like lay your head down on your pillow and just like feel legitimized a little bit more?
Yeah, I do. I definitely do. And honestly, it goes beyond just Discraft. OTB has been they just kind of took me. They were just like, hey, what do you need? And that's also amazing. And they're doing crazy things. Now they have this whole team of players under their umbrella. And, again, great big names, Colt Montgomery, Paige, Nate, all of these people, Ezra. And so it's a combination of basically all of my sponsors. But yes, Discraft has certainly kind of pushed me in that sort of direction of, feeling just a little bit more I don't know, like, maybe legitimized. I don't really know how to describe it, but I certainly feel like a top professional. Maybe I was that, but I definitely feel like I am that for sure. That feels great.
Well, your story is kind of, or your like narrative in disc golf is one that I'm just so intrigued by, because there's some of these players that, I'm thinking Haley King, I'm thinking, Kona to a degree, I guess. They came in with a big splash right at the beginning, and they've been in the mix since the beginning, but you kind of have been like on a slow burn, and like, at no point has it felt like you've ever plateaued, you know what I mean? And it would just keep going up and up and up. And has it felt that way to you? And has it felt that way to you?
Yeah, it definitely has. And it's funny because it definitely has been like a slow, rise. However, at the same time, it's been like super fast for me, at least, because I didn't start playing until I was 26. Like I didn't even, and I'm 31 now. And so like, I found the sport pretty late in life, and then, started out in advanced women, well, rec, but then kind of just popped up to advanced, knowing that I'm like, I'm a little older, I'm not old by any means, but I'm a little older than some of these ladies out here. And I knew I kind of had to like, I'm super competitive in, for myself. And I knew I had to just like grind it out and try to get better as quickly as possible. Because from being 26 and then going on tour when I was 28, 29, like, that's crazy to think about for me. But yeah, as far as, making my mark on the tour, I didn't come out on the tour until mid 2018, and then kind of had like a year to sort of get comfortable, and then another year to feel a little bit better. And so I don't know. Definitely a slow rise, and I definitely have not hit that plateau yet. And, I think we got a little bit of a sneak peek of that from last year. And I think there's only ways up from here. So.
Well, let's talk about, going forward in your play and career, or this season specific. Like, do you have goals? Are you like do you write down all your goals? Do you like specifically don't have any goals? Where are you at with like, what are you looking forward to this season?
Yeah, I don't really write down goals. I think that I think really my biggest goal would be to just win something big. Win a pro tour, win a national tour, or, hopefully a major. That'd be amazing. But just win something like big and substantial. I've had a lot of A-tier wins. I've had some good finishes at disc golf pro tour events, but I think to take that next step, I was inspired by Ellen Widboom winning Idlewild. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's her and I kind of, I feel like we sort of feel the same in sort of our, like, where we're at in our careers as professionals. And she plays a lot of events. I'm trying to scale down a little bit, but like she's seeing her win Idlewild, I was like, any one of us can do this. Like, we just have to get in it and get it done.
No, I'm actually so glad that you just mentioned Ellen. That was my follow-up question, is like, because I imagine it can, Paige is great. She's a friend. Happy for her. It's always great to see her. But like, it's got to get a little like tiresome to like be in that situation where it is just so, repetitive in that way. It seems like she's just, she'll win 70%, 65% of the events. Does seeing someone like Ellen, who objectively throws, 180 to 200 feet shorter, like, does seeing someone like that win get you motivated and grind it up for yourself?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was so fun to just see her come in and at, I waited there on hole 18 at Idlewild to watch her come in because one, it was going to be exciting all the way down to the last putt. But it's just cool to see that. And honestly, with Paige being such a, constant force, for me, it's not even discouraging. Probably to some people it is, but for me, it's like I'm chasing her down, and it gives me something to kind of like chase after. And she'll have her days. She's more than likely always going to be towards the top, but nobody's unbeatable, even if it feels that way. So I'm coming for her every time.
Oh, good. I love it. So I've known you and Tom, your partner, to tour around in your little pop-up. It's like a triangle. When you set it up, it's like a triangle camper. I've heard, and you mentioned off camera, that you've got a little bit of an upgrade. Could you talk about that?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if I've ever given a tour of our other vehicle from last year, but you can kind of see I'm in it right now. This is sort of, it's all one big room, but it's like one of those standard, 22-foot campers, but it's quite a bit bigger than what we had last year, especially not having to pop it up. So some upgrades this off season, which also took up a lot of my time this off season, just trying to figure all of that out. And we had to upgrade the vehicle. So a lot of things going on. Same sort of like towable camper. So we have a vehicle and a camper, and so similar to what we were used to, but just a little bigger and more comfy, and hopefully makes tour life a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know all about like the pain of getting somewhere. You finally get there and it's like, oh no, now we have an hour of like popping everything up. So that's really awesome to see that you guys have upgraded. But so it sounds like you're still towing though. It's not a proper RV. It's like a tow camper situation.
Right. Yes.
And then did you get a new truck? Like, what are you towing that beast with these days?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have these are really light. It's a Jayco, whatever. But they're sort of one of they're
Yeah.
they're just super light, and I think it's probably just pushing like 4,000 pounds, but it
Oh,
feels
okay.
like a home on wheels.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we're towing with we had a smaller Jeep Cherokee before, and now we have a little bit bigger Dodge Durango. So not like a truck, but sort of just like a bigger SUV.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so that's even more comfortable. And we kind of set up the back to have some discs to sell.
Mm.
Not that I have to, it's not like a necessity for me to do, but I think Tom's going to try to set up a little bit more and do a little bit more vending and caddying. But sometimes he's not going to be able to this year, I'm sure. So he'll have something else to sort of focus on.
Yeah. So the last thing I kind of want to touch on before I get you out of here is Tom himself. You tour around with your partner Tom. Great, honestly iconic couple around the course. I love seeing you guys, but it is got to be it's a tough world to live in when you're touring full time with your partner. And frankly, in the FPO division, it's even rarer.
Yeah.
It's basically you and Sarah Holcomb that are touring around, with their partners, as opposed to the MPO, which there's probably a little bit more. What's it like being full-time live-in with your partner across the country? What's that experience been like?
It's been great, honestly. It's like, not always rainbows and, unicorns,
Sure.
but we're just great friends. We're best friends first, and that sounds cliche, but like I've been with him since high school, just to put that out there.
Gotcha. Okay. So for some perspective,
yeah, we're, we know what we need. We're very open. We're good with communication, and now that we have a little more space, we can kind of like go to our separate places if we need to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm if nothing else, I'm just fortunate to have him with me, and being a woman on tour, it's really, I don't know how, like Elisa Fakis and like they're doing it alone, and even like Holly Finley, and that would not even just a little bit scary. I mean, it's just like hard. It's hard to be out here alone, and so I'm super fortunate. And whenever I feel a little frustrated with him, I have to remember, like, this is amazing. What we're doing is super cool. And the fact that we're able to do it with both of us out here is even better. So, yeah.
No, that's so good to hear, really, because I can imagine it could get challenging at times, when you're just 100% together. So it's good to hear that, it's all good. But Missy, listen, I honestly have really enjoyed the conversation, but I want to give you a chance to talk to the fans. Anybody out there pulling for Miss Missy Gannon?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just so thankful and grateful for everybody that's been supportive of me. I've never really had any negative things, come up between me and the fans or whatever. It's all super positive, and people who follow me are amazing. And I even saw it last year with all the support through tour series and all of that. I couldn't be more grateful for everybody out there watching and rooting for me. And I've been a little quiet on social media because I've just had so much to do, and I kind of wanted to get back out there when we're out there. I didn't want to force, my stupid little putting routine in the basement or something. I'm doing my thing. But I'll be back on social media. We'll get that thing going again. But just thank you to everybody, to you, Corey, for having me on here, to my sponsors, Discraft, Grip, OTB, and Whale Sacks, my new sponsor. So excited to get back out there, and hopefully I can make you all proud.
Awesome. You hit it perfectly. I can't wait to get back out there as well. I will see you in Vegas I think my flight leaves in like 5 days. So super excited. I've been looking forward to it.
You won't see me in Vegas.
No, wait, no. Pause. You're not going to Vegas? Okay, hold on. We're not ending right there.
I know. Okay. Yeah. That's, I don't know. I'm not really sure why I decided not to do Vegas. I just didn't. I don't know. So, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it or whatever.
No, it's
but,
fair. It's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we figured we'd come out here to Arizona, do the All-Stars, and then sort of. I want to be able to do a little bit of balancing between like being out here and exploring these places than just, you know, disc golf every weekend. Now it's still going to be disc golf every weekend, I feel like, but you know, I'm trying not to like shove any small events in there or even A tiers. We're gonna, you know, do some hiking, maybe even some rock climbing if I feel brave enough. But, you know, kind of get back into some of the other things that we like to do. And that's another thing, you know, just kind of balancing that. It's still the same thing, work-life balance. I mean, yes, we're out here playing disc golf and people are probably like, you know, that's play all day, you know, but no, it's more than that. And yeah, so having that work-life balance is what we're trying to do this year. So yeah, Vegas I don't know. I've never played Vegas. It's kind of crazy, but...
Listen, I like it. So we're derailing off our interview right now, but so Vegas, you're not missing anything, but it is one of the more well-run events. Like the courses are super bland, super boring, but like it's a well-run event. So I would encourage at some point. I mean, it's a pro tour event too. You got to get your points if you want to be an all-star next year. Come on.
I know, but I am just gonna kill it at all the other ones. So
there you go.
The bottom two are gonna drop anyway. So whatever.
All right. Well, you've got enough confidence to miss a few events. We do know that. Okay. Yes. Missy, I'm going to end it right there though, because I've got some things to do. I got to get going. But
yeah, me too.
for all of you at home, if you would like interviews of all things disc golf, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel.